Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to share a recipe for a very interesting tomato and cucumber salad called Shirazi Salad. When tomatoes and cucumbers cut into tiny squares. I believe the origin of this recipe is Persian, Iranian, but I've tried it in a local Middle Eastern restaurant in my town, and this salad was served as an appetizer along with some hummus and baba ganoush. And here's the list of the ingredients, and also will be listed in the description box below. For this recipe I chose 3 Roma tomatoes. Why? Because Roma tomatoes have much firmer flesh and it would be easier for us to cut it into squares. And of course Persian cucumbers, I have 4 here. They're just perfect for this recipe. They're crunchy, they practically have no seeds, and it would be also easy for us to cut them into tiny squares. We also will need 1 small purple onion. I know some people call it red, but I see purple. We will need a juice from 1 lime and 1 very small bunch of parsley. Try to get only the leaves of the parsley, and this one grows in my garden. And also 1 very small bunch or just like maybe 10-15 leaves of fresh mint, just the leaves again. And of course the seasoning here is very simple. We just need the salt and pepper, and then please note that I'm using the green pepper because this salad is very visually beautiful. I don't want to have this little black specks from the black pepper. And we're gonna need some good extra virgin olive oil, and that's it. Although the Persian cucumbers have very thin and non-bitter skin, and we don't need to peel it, but I would like to peel it. And if you can see how I'm peeling it, I leave in kind of a zebra pattern because I think it's gonna look cute when we cut it into squares. And the key here to this whole salad is just to cut all the vegetables into little squares. And normally you would cut it lengthwise and then cut it into squares, but some of the cucumbers are curved. So I found an easy way to cut it into squares if just on the bias to cut it into slices first, then line up the slices one on top of each other, and then cut it into squares. And here you go, you have absolutely perfect squares of cucumber. We're gonna do the same with tomatoes, but because I don't want this salad to be watery and I don't want it to be mushy, we need to remove the seeds from the tomatoes. So just cut the whole core with the seed out, leaving just the outer part of the tomato. And then we're gonna cut the pit off, and we're ready to cut it into squares. So we're just gonna cut the slices of the tomato like this, and then line up the slices and cut it into little squares. So now you understand why in most of the restaurants this salad is served as part of the appetizer, in the appetizer platter, in a very small amount, because the cutting of the vegetables takes a long time. And the same we're gonna do with the onion. I chose this purple onion. I think it's just gonna look beautiful in the salad. But the salad that I was served in this restaurant, remember I told you I went to, had white onions. So it's your choice. You could use purple or white, doesn't really matter. But we have to also cut it into little squares. And for that, we're just gonna do some cuts across and cuts horizontal, and then make sure we have this tiny little squares of onion, and that goes also into our salad. Moving on to fresh herbs, and I'm so excited because I'm using the herbs from my garden. I didn't do very well last year, so I didn't have a very good fresh herb garden, but this year is just wonderful. We're just gonna use the leaves from the fresh herbs, and I have parsley and mint here, and we're just gonna give it a rough chop, and then we need to chop it really finely. Just because the squares of the cucumbers and tomatoes have to be visible in this salad, and if we're just gonna cut the herbs really rough, they're gonna compete with the appearance of the salad. So try to do a very fine chop of the fresh herbs, almost like a powder, and that also goes into our salad. For the dressing, we're gonna need the lime juice, and just roll the lime on the countertop so it gets a little bit softer. And I love this juice extractor. You see, you can have it for lime or lemon. I can find it where I bought it and post a link for you, because this tool is extremely useful. I use it all the time, and look at this, it just extracts the juice so easily. And of course, we're gonna season the salad. We're gonna use some salt, and as I told you, green pepper is from green peppercorns, has much milder taste to it, and I think it's just gonna be wonderful for this salad. And then of course I'm using the extra virgin olive oil. A good quality olive oil will do good for this salad. And then of course, before we add more seasoning, if we need to toss the salad. And by tossing it, I say just like lift it up and kind of just, shake it up. And look how beautiful, seriously, this little cucumbers and tomatoes are, and just perfect little squares. I find much easier to eat the salad with the spoon rather than with the fork, because when I was eating it in the restaurant, it was hard to get it on the fork because this little squares are so tiny. And the taste is absolutely amazing. I hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.